Well, it's a pretty dull Thursday afternoon here, and I've got the task of changing or looking at the side light bulb that's not playing. So anyway, I've undone the cap, I've had a look in here, I've removed the H1 bulb I think it is, but what's happened is this connector's come off. Now I did actually do a video a wee while ago and there was something not quite right with the bulb holder. So I think because this washer bottle filler neck is here, there's not a great deal of access. You're okay for getting in and getting the bulb changed. I think I'm going to have to undo the headlamp unit, take it inside, and then see about fixing that wire. So it looks like I've got to undo, it looks like a 12 maybe, 8 or a 10 there. So I'm going to have to undo these. Sorry, I think I'm going to have to undo that one and undo that one. I think that actually holds this part on. So this one here, and this one here. Okay, so that's those two rather rusty, corroded bolts removed. They're 10mm. So that's them out there and there. Now, I've got to see about tugging this out, and I'm going to have to do that with two hands. Well, here's a top tip for you. You take out the two bolts there and there, then you try and pull it out, and you go, hang on, that's not coming out, that's really tight. Well, actually, I had a quick look around, and there's actually another rusty bloody bolt there. So you've got three of these to take out. So I'm going to take this one out here now. Well, that bolt was even more crusty. So anyway, it's 10mm as well. So that's been slackened off, it's loose there, and this is now free to move. I've got to undo some connectors. So that's that one, and then there's a wee trigger at the top there. We'll pull it and wiggle it. I'm not sure if there's one at the bottom or not. I think that's it. I think you need to kind of lift it up, fingers underneath. I'll need two hands to do that though. Well, I don't know if this was more difficult because the headlamp's never been removed before or not, but there was a lot more pulling and tugging to get this light unit than I expected. It was really tight in here, and then once I got that removed, I actually took some of these clips out to give me a bit of play here on the grill. So anyway, once I got that sorted out, it was like it didn't want to come out of here, but maybe because of this locator. But it's out now, but that didn't go nearly as easily as I thought. I thought, shit, I'm going to be stuck with the light half in and half out. But anyway, it's out now. Another thing that I would say you have to look at is you need to unclip this wiring harness from the underside of the light. It clips in just there. So anyway, that's ready for bringing into the house. Right, so I'm in the house now with the removed headlight unit. So that's that bulb. Put that out of the way. So what I need to do is to get this bit out. As you can see, that's come off. So I did have a problem with the cylindrical part. I think it's split. So I'm going to have to see about how to get that out. And what I recall was I put a screwdriver or something on the wire. Well, I'll just see if I can take it with my fingers. But there's not a great deal of space. Alright, I'm getting that. Yep, there we go. So you can see it's got the factory fitted sellotape on there, and the other side connector has come off. So what I'm going to have to do is see about repairing that wire. Now I have actually meant to see about getting a new connector to repair this, and I was going to order some off AliExpress, which I might actually do this evening just to have some. So this isn't really that big a deal, but I need to take off this sellotape. Alright, let's see what I can do with this. So there's going to be a join in there somewhere. Tell you what, I'll not take up lots of time. I'll just get a pair of scissors and I'll cut that off. Alright, so I've split the sellotape. That's that off. Now you'll see what's happened. The connector has started to degrade, and this, well, there's the bulb. So obviously there's two sides to the bulb. God almighty, that's not the easiest thing to get to. Just cut my bloody nails this morning. So anyway, I'm going to have to get that out. But anyway, it should be held in place like this on that side. So you've got, hopefully you can see there's the bulb holder on that side, and then the other one should be coming on this side and hold it together. So what I'll maybe do is I'll maybe use some super glue just to attempt to hold that into place until I get another one of these. I think you can get like multiple units of these on AliExpress for very low money. So I'm going to see if I can do something where I can put the other connector on this side, just hold it together, because it's just a friction fit when it goes into the hole here. Alright, so I've kind of pieced that together. There's not a great deal of room for manoeuvre here because this wiring's quite short. So basically that's going to have to get held in there, and then once the bulb goes in between it, it should keep it together. But I think what I'll do is I'll just put a dod of super glue on this plastic. Well, I just had a message there that said device temperature is too hot, so it stopped recording. But anyway, I don't know how far that got until I look later. So anyway, I'm going to have to take this wire and I'm going to put a bit of glue in there somewhere, and then hopefully once I put that in, hold it for a bit, it'll kind of retain it, and then I'll put a bit of black insulation tape or some insulation tape around it just to hold it there. But we'll see if that works. Alright, so that's that pieced back together. As you can see, the connector's there. So I've not actually put any glue on it yet, but I'm just going to put a little bit of super glue just to hold that in place there, and then I'll put a bit of tape around it. The reason that I'm not stopping at this point is I need to make sure the polarity is the right way around, because as far as I remember, LED bulbs, the current only goes one way, so I don't know if it's either going to be that way or I need to turn the bulb around the other way. So we shall see. So I'm just going to put, I've just got some simple Yoo-hoo super glue. Use any type of super glue you like, and I'm just going to put a little dot of it. We'll use this pink pencil. I'm going to put a bit there, and I'll put a bit there, just to hold it in place, so that if I'm pulling it out, you can see there it's not, it's not held in place. But once you put that bulb onto the bulb holder or the connector, it's actually quite secure. So it's just going to have to be enough to be able to put the bulb in and make a contact. That's all it's needing, until such time as I get another one of these bulb holders. I think as well, you might notice that I've not taken that bulb out, but I think there's something up with this. I think something has also come away. I think there's meant to be a trigger. See how there's that sort of broken plastic there. Again, I'll use this. There's something there, I think that's meant to push down to release the bulb, I think. Yeah, that's what it is. So there's maybe a problem with old heated plastic, so there should be a trigger. In my case, this bit of plastic's come off, but that pushes down to release the grip on the H1 bulb, so presumably it holds onto that. So that's something I'll need to look at. So I potentially need another one of these connectors, but I'm not really too fussed about that. I'm not worried about that right now. It does function perfectly, and as far as I'm aware, there's no problems with the filament in there. So that'll go back in as and when it's time for it. But the thing now is just to get this glued together so that I can put the bulb back in. Right, I'm back outside. I've just hooked everything up, and the bulb is the correct polarity, so I will put that back into the housing, and then put the thing back into the wing and the bumper area. So that's okay. I'll put a little mark on the bulb so I know which side's which, but at least that's working. But I'm definitely going to have to look for another connector, I think, at some point. But hopefully the super glue is going to hold it in place. So anyway, to do that test, I had to hook the two connectors up. There's one there and one there. So I'll turn my ignition back off and get that bulb put back into its correct spot. And back in the house. So the bit we're looking at is here. Now I did actually give the light unit a bit of a shake, and there was some stuff rattling about. One of the things was a blown W5W bulb, or a T10 if you're talking about one of these. So yeah, this one was obviously one that must have been changed at some point and fallen in. And then there's a little bit of the plastic part of the bulb holder. So I'm not sure if I could take the tape back off and then see if that would glue into place or not, but should I bother or not? I mean, it's going to work. So let's see what this looks like if I can bring it a bit closer. The problem you have with this is you've got such a short amount of cable to play with, so there's quite a bit of tension on it. So I think what I'll do is I'll just pop that into the hole, see if that goes in easily enough. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to guide it in. I'm not going to bother marking the bulb or anything. Oh, you bugger, I've just put that in a bit too far. Now, so don't push it in too far or you'll be pulling it back out like me. Alright, well hopefully that's in place. Let's turn it round. Now you can definitely see it there. It's maybe a little bit further in than it should be, but I'm sure it'll be fine. And then the next thing is to fit, I think this is the dip bulb. So when you put this in, you've obviously got a flat part here. Looks like the flat part goes there. So the bulb's going to go in like that. Yeah, that's that. Oh, this is actually this is the main beam, sorry. This is the main beam. So we go back in and then you're going to latch that. It's on the outside. I'm looking at the camera, not able to see anything. So that's it latched in. And then, as I say, this little bit is the trigger here, but this part has come off, so that's just going to get slipped over. That's it in. And then this one is for the cover. I don't know if this is for the, I don't know if they're both the same. Well, they're obviously both the same, so that's on there in place. Now this one, right, it just said size limit reached, so let's see, I can pull that off. This is an H7 bulb. I had to change these a few weeks back. Both my bulbs blew, so you've got the latch there. I've done a video of this before in place, but anyway, this is better for you. So this is upside down obviously, but you've got a little tab in there, so you're going to put your finger on there, push it to the side and lift it up, and then you'll see there's that tongue. Now these bulbs were bought at a BP, I think it was, service station somewhere on the M9, and if I said they were shit, I think that's probably quite fair. I've bought bulbs like this before from China on AliExpress, and they've been far superior to this. But for some reason, one of the bulbs, this one, is actually more dull, puts less light out than the left side one. But anyway, it'll do for now. So it goes in. When you put it in the car, the tongue will go to the bottom, push it down, and then you've got this little recess. You just push the clip to the side and then back on, and then it's 2 connectors, and it just pushes on. Pretty straightforward, and you can do this without removing the headlight from the car. Based on my experience today, removing this headlight unit, it's not the easiest thing to do, but I mean it's not impossible. But you can change the bulb by just taking these, these covers off and fiddling about. But this will give you an idea of what you actually see inside. So anyway, next thing is back out to the car and make sure everything's still okay. Right, so there's the side light bulb working fine, the dip beam's working fine. Same on this side. Now, I've done this before I put it back in. I also put the cover on before putting it back in. So now, to see how difficult or easy it is to get this back in, because it was a bit of a bugger to get it out, to be quite honest. Well, I'll be quite honest, it went back in a hell of a lot easier than it came out. I basically put it in at this end first, and then I just kind of pushed it. I don't know if that's a slight mark I've made there, or if that was there all the time. Not entirely sure. But yeah, that definitely took more effort to get it out than I expected. But anyway, it's back in now, and I'll just do a test to make sure it's working. Once I put all my clips and everything back in, and put the bolts in. Alright, so everything's back to normal now. No problems this side either. So that's how you remove your headlight and find out that your bulb holder has disintegrated. So anyway, that's good. Any questions, feel free to ask. I think I'm actually going to have to check my fog lights as well, but I'll do that in another video.